This is Daniel with Huntsvolt, and I'm here with Logan over here at Woody Anderson over at Jordan Lane here in Huntsvolt. How's it going, man?
Good, very good.
Awesome. So obviously we're over here in front of the new Mustang. What can you tell me about this? It's the Mach-E?
Yeah, so this particular one is a first edition. It is an extended range all-wheel drive. So that means you're going to get the most range and performance out of this particular model. This one is obviously in the gorgeous rapid red metallic. This is kind of what embodies the future of what Ford is doing. It's got the latest and greatest tech, a lot of stuff that is actually new to Ford.
Why did Ford go with a hatchback?
I think to appeal to the kind of buyer. You know, Ford and a lot of other manufacturers are kind of moving to the SUV and pickup truck segments. That's kind of what's selling. You know, obviously it's kind of a family-based vehicle. So as far as practicality, you know, you really can't get much better than an SUV.
All right, guys, we're about to have fun and take this for a ride here in just a moment. But before we get going, I did want to ask about what Ford has got going on other than the Mustang. So I know about the electric truck. What can you tell me about that?
Not a whole lot. The electric truck is, well, first off, it's going to change the whole game of trucks. It's going to start off around $39,000.
It's not bad.
Four-wheel drive is standard, and that's going to be on the XL package, and it'll go clear into the 80s and 90s, well-equipped, obviously. But, you know, as much information as you can Google is pretty much what we have access to at this point.
We were talking earlier, one of the cool features about the Lightning F-150 is that you can take power from it and power the rest of your house in case like the power goes out from a tornado like it's wont to do here in North Alabama.
Yep.
Has Energy Alabama had any look at that?
I was going to tell Don, I mean, that's going to be a big selling point to people who either already have solar and don't have battery storage, or are looking to do that, because a lot of people want the resiliency of that. They want the backup. A couple of other vehicles too we talked about, right?
We do.
The E-Transit. What else do you got that's electrified now and that we could expect to be electrified in the near future?
I think in the near future, but just about everything hopefully is electrified. But,
All right.
But right now we've got an electric version of the Transit van, and Logan can talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So you've got, I think, a cargo and a passenger coming. Going to be a great overall, I think, local delivery option. Low, obviously zero emissions. So I mean, you can run it. You know, if you need to pull something into a warehouse, anything like that, it's going to be pretty versatile. And the cool thing about it is that there's no compromise in terms of cargo capacity or seating capacity. So there's no obstruction in the van whatsoever from the battery packs underneath. So I think that'll be a huge selling point for it as well. As far as other models, we also have a plug-in hybrid Escape, so it's electrified also. That's been on the market here for just a little bit now. And then something new and fun here.
Yeah, Ford announced in the spring that they are coming to market with an all-electric Explorer.
Ooh, there we go. So we heard that we can expect, or we hope to have, some electric Ford F-150s riding around the streets of Huntsville next year.
Spring 22.
That's right. That's what I heard the guy say.
Yeah.
And there was something about a huge announcement in terms of like how much Ford wants to go all electric and a certain date. Remind us of what that was.
It is 40% of our vehicles by 2030.
Wow.
So we've got to get going here. We've got 9, almost 8 years, I guess, to do it. And I think I mean, Ford's all in on EV. Farley's made that very clear. With his leadership, I'm pretty confident we're gonna be the leaders here.
Well, I'm very excited about that. I'm excited to go take this for a spin here in a second. You want to open the garage door and take her out?
Let's do it.
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right, so what you're looking at here is Ford's Sync 4A system, all new for Ford for 2021. First debuted here in the Mustang Mach-E. So what's different about this infotainment system is that you have different user profiles. So oftentimes, you know, two different people drive the same car. You can set your own personal preferences and choose which person is driving the vehicle that day or at that moment, and it'll go back to every setting that you had. Whereas things like drive modes, radio preferences, all kinds of different stuff that it can save to your profile, so that way when you get in, it's like you never left.
Nice. So looking at a few different things here that kind of call out to me, this, you know, some of the energy related features here. What are we looking at? for this trip? Is this like the kind of history of somebody and how hard they've been driving it, or?
Correct. So think of like your trip computers on your typical combustion engine vehicles. This is going to give you kind of a playback of what's happened since the trip was last reset. So it shows you kind of where you're using your battery. That way, if you tend to be getting a little bit of extra drain, you can kind of tell, hey, look, climate use. Maybe if I keep my thermostat just a little higher, it won't use quite as much battery. So it gives you a good idea of kind of how you've used the charge that you had and the distance since you've last reset it.
And then I see something similar like over here. Like right now we're at 100% charge and we have 239 miles on this charge. It sounds like earlier you mentioned this was a longer range, almost 300 miles. So it's like it's learning that I have a lead foot.
Correct.
I'm really leaning into the battery here, right?
Absolutely. So it kind of it adjusts the range based off how you drive and also your weather conditions and stuff outside. So it's going to give you kind of more of a real-time range estimate up top there.
Yeah, and are you seeing? I've seen a lot of new vehicles that are doing, heated seats and heated steering wheels like you have down here. Do you notice that has a big impact on the battery, or pretty small?
I think it's all relatively small. A lot of that stuff is you do still have a 12-volt battery that you're running things off of as well. So a lot of that stuff, yes, the more you use, a little bit more range it's going to deplete, but overall, it doesn't make a significant impact, I don't believe.
So what else awesome and cool do we need to look at in this system?
So the cool thing about kind of tied in with this system is Ford's new Blue Cruise. So you have a kind of a self-driving feature, if you will, that is new to Ford, and they have pre-mapped highways that you can actually let go of the wheel. It's divided highways only as of now, so you can be headed down the road. You have a destination planned, and it uses certain driver assistance features that Ford has had for many years, including like a lane centering, lane keeping, as well as adaptive cruise with a speed sign recognition as well. So kind of a combination of multiple tools that they've already tried and true tested, kind of combining into one umbrella, if you will.
Nice. And so I guess that's the last question I have for you on the inside is around like charge times and speeds. If you have I know a lot of folks are doing charging at home, but then especially when you have a vehicle like this can get 200 or 300 miles. Say folks in Huntsville are looking to get to Birmingham and back, or Nashville and back, things like that. Can you talk about how fast the charging is on, say, level 2 out in public, or maybe some DC fast charging that's available?
Yeah, absolutely. So your typical 240 volt charger that you would probably use at home would typically from complete zero charge would typically take, I think, around 6 or 7 hours. So your typical overnight park. Your DC fast charging, I think, is right around the couple hour mark. So enough to where you could probably stop, take a bite to eat, take a small rest, and have enough to continue your journey.
And the good news is y'all here at Woody Anderson actually have some public level 2 chargers that anybody with really these vehicles or any other electric vehicle can stop by and get a charge. But not only do you just have free chargers, you got a joint over here that's got some pretty good food, I hear.
Absolutely, yeah. So we offer 3 chargers up front. So one located over close to the cafe, and then 2 up front of the showroom here. So absolutely kind of an added bonus of stopping by to see us.
There you go. Sounds good to me. Thanks, Logan.
All right, so what can you explain to me here? What are the big differences between what we've got here in my old Mustang? Not as far as like the UI and everything, but how does it drive different? What's different about this newer model?
So obviously going electric, right, the biggest difference you're going to notice is power delivery. You're going to get instant power the second you step on the throttle, and in this one you for sure feel it.
Yeah, we're about to test that out. I'm about to take it out here on Jordan Lane going up 53, just a little north of Huntsville. I can tell you right now, it handles really well. Like, it feels very responsive turning around. All right, man, I'm pulling out on Highway 53 now. I'm gonna start slow. What's the speed limit here?
I think you're right around 50.
Let's get there. Okay. Good bit of acceleration there. I definitely could have got a good bit more out of that.
So that's where your drive modes come into effect as well. So you've got a couple different modes. If you're feeling a little extra sporty that day, you can always put it in the unbridled mode. It'll open the car up a little bit more.
So can we change that as we're going down the road?
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at that. Yeah. So we are in unbridled.
So unbridled, and you know you've got your logo up there on your big screen, so you know that you're there.
Okay, cool. What are the other two modes?
The other two are Engage, which is going to be your normal driving mode, kind of your everyday, and then you have Whisper, which is going to be your most efficient, get the most range.
Okay. So how many more miles will you get for a full battery charge on the Whisper as opposed to the Pony mode I'm in now?
I don't know the particulars, but I know obviously your throttle response is lightened a little bit, so it all depends on kind of how you keep your foot in it, you know, as to how it'll adjust.
So I'll let you man the controls here since I'm a little unfamiliar, but what do we do if I want to take a look at my map, if I want to see where I'm going?
So all we have to do is you've got your apps button at the top, and you can hit your navigation icon.
Okay, so I'm thinking about turning right up here, like a big loop.
So now what you're noticing too, a little added feature here is one pedal drive. That is a part,
Really?
it is an option you can turn on and off in your unbridled mode, but one pedal drive, what it does for those that are unfamiliar is you can actually, as soon as you let off the accelerator, the car starts to brake itself. Essentially using your regenerative braking to kind of slow the car down without actually having to go to the physical brake.
Okay. I want to come up here and turn around. I'll give that a try. Alright, so here's a question for you. I'm hearing some motor noises. Are they fake?
They are. So you do have a kind of a very low frequency, just kind of an added little goose egg there. You can turn that on and off, but Ford calls that their propulsion sound. So it kind of gives you the feel, especially for those that are unfamiliar with EVs, kind of gives you that added layer, so to speak, that you would be missing.
But you can turn that off.
You absolutely can if you don't like it.
I know on some other manufacturers, when you back up, it'll make kind of like an otherworldly spaceship kind of noise. I've heard that in a VW I tried a couple of weeks ago. Can you do anything like that in this?
So this one, not as of yet. It does have a set tone when you do put it in reverse to alert pedestrians around you that you are in reverse and backing up.
Okay, cool. What are some other features that you like that are cool to play with when you're going down the road?
So some of mine, just because I'm kind of a tech guru, is the different drive assistance features that you can get. So for instance, like the adaptive cruise with speed sign recognition. So if we get out here on Jordan Lane and the speed limit changes to 45 from 50, you can set it to where, let's say if you wanted to go 3 over the posted speed limit, it will automatically adjust as you're driving down the road. And that's not only based off map data, but it's actually got a camera behind your mirror here that actually reads the signs, which is good for when you're traveling down the road. You come into a construction zone, wouldn't be logged in a map somewhere, but the car reads and knows that the construction zone is there, so it slows you down.
Speaking of camera, we can take a look and see like our blind spots and such, right?
Correct. And you've got a front camera as well as a 360.
That's impressive.
In which you can also zoom to each corner as well.
Huh. Those come in handy when you're going down the interstate. Well, Logan, thanks so much for letting us take a ride. I'm hoping we do get to have that race before too long.
Absolutely.
But I love it. Can you tell us any more about what people need to know about Woody Anderson, how they can follow up if they're interested, if they want to take a ride like we just did?
Absolutely. So on our website, WoodyAndersonFord.com, you can go in and do your custom order. We are ordering 2022 models now, so order banks are open. I've got a couple ordered myself actually, so hopefully start seeing them soon. But all you have to do is go to our website, or you can call us either one.
If we do have this race, though, just for the record, I'm calling dibs on the GT model. He said this is going to be even faster, so I got to make sure to get that.
Okay, this is going to have to be a tournament because, there's a couple of different things that I want this to race. I do want it to race the Model 3. I wanted to race the GT. 3 or 4 different ones. So we're going to have to find a track or something. Isn't there a drag track just about 5 miles up the road?
Rumor has it.
Yeah.
Rumor has it.
All right. So I need you to get some more of them so it's not just the one for show. And we're going to make this happen, okay?
Absolutely.
We're going to have a Huntsvolt electric car tournament. Anyway, thanks again for showing us around.
Absolutely.
What else we got going on with Huntsvolt?
Well, just keep us apprised. We got events we'll be planning. You know, it's kind of a cold weather time, so. But as soon as things turn a little warmer in the spring, we'll have some events and things going on. And of course, Charlie Foster's always has the EV meetup. So yeah, just take a look at our social media channels, and we'll have all the stuff posted for folks.
Sounds good. Well, find us on YouTube and social media. We'll have some more stuff going on soon. Hope to see you guys out.
See y'all.
See ya.
Let's make fire.